people love to believe that love is enough to keep a relationship together. We grow up on stories where two people meet, fall in love, and live happily ever after, as if love itself were a magic glue that holds everything in place. But reality has a way of testing that idea. In the real world, love can exist side by side with pain, mistrust, frustration, and exhaustion. And when the scales tip too far in the wrong direction, even the deepest love can't keep someone from walking away. Love is powerful. It can inspire forgiveness, patience, and loyalty, but love without respect slowly erodes your spirit. Love without safety becomes a constant source of anxiety. Love without effort turns into neglect. People don't usually leave because they stop feeling love. They leave because the relationship stops feeling like a place where that love can survive and grow. A woman can wake up every morning thinking about the man she loves, but if she goes to bed every night feeling unseen, unheard, or unappreciated, that love becomes heavy. It becomes a burden she carries alone. At first she'll try harder, she'll give more, invest more, compromise more, hoping the man she loves will notice and meet her halfway. She'll tell herself that every relationship has rough patches, that it's just a matter of time before things get better. But when she sees that her efforts are met with indifference or worse, taken for granted, the hope begins to fade. Love is the spark, but it's not the firewood. If there's no kindness, no communication, no shared effort to maintain the connection, that spark will die out. A woman may still care deeply, but she'll start asking herself difficult questions. Why do I feel lonelier in this relationship than I would on my own? Why am I constantly explaining my needs only to be met with excuses or defensiveness? Why do I feel like I'm the only one trying to make this work? In that moment, love no longer feels like a safe place. It feels like a trap, one that keeps her tied to someone who doesn't truly value what she brings. And that's when she starts imagining a life without him. She'll picture mornings without the arguments, evenings without the tension, and a future where she's free to be herself without feeling small or unwanted. This is the part many men don't understand. They think, she loves me, so she'll stay no matter what. They believe the depth of her feelings will outweigh her need for respect and fulfillment. But a woman who has learned her worth knows that staying in a relationship that chips away at her dignity is a form of self-betrayal. Love is not a shield against pain if the person you love is the one causing it. In fact, it can make the pain sharper because it comes from someone you trusted with your heart. When a woman reaches the point where she feels more peace in imagining life without you than she feels in being with you, the decision to leave becomes less about whether she loves you and more about whether she loves herself enough to let go. The truth is, love can coexist with neglect. You can love someone and still feel ignored. You can love someone and still feel disrespected. And those feelings, if left unaddressed, slowly break the bond that love created in the first place. Without respect, trust, and consistent care, love becomes a memory rather than a living force. A woman will stay through hardship, through challenges, through life's unpredictable storms if she feels the man beside her is truly with her in it. But if she feels she's carrying it all alone, love becomes too heavy to hold. It stops feeling like a shared journey and starts feeling like a prison sentence. Some people think the opposite of love is hate, but in relationships the real opposite is indifference. Indifference tells her that her feelings don't matter. Indifference tells her that her needs will never be a priority. Indifference slowly suffocates the parts of her that felt alive when she first fell in love. She might stay for months, even years, clinging to the hope that things will return to the way they were in the beginning. But if she keeps giving and nothing changes, eventually the pain of staying outweighs the fear of leaving. And when that shift happens, it's almost impossible to reverse. Love on its own isn't a reason to endure a relationship that takes more than it gives. Without the foundation of respect, trust, and effort, love becomes a beautiful picture trapped in a broken frame. You can look at it and remember what it felt like, but you can't live inside it anymore. A woman may leave a man she loves not because she wants to but because she has to, because staying would mean losing parts of herself she's not willing to lose. Because she realizes that love without mutual effort isn't partnership, it's imbalance. And no matter how strong the feelings are, imbalance eventually tips the heart toward the exit. When she leaves, it's not a rejection of the love she once felt, it's a decision to protect the love she still has for herself. And that's why love alone isn't enough to make her stay. It must be paired with the daily actions that keep that love alive. Without them, even the deepest love will fade, and the decision to walk away will start to feel like the only way forward. Emotional security is one of the most underestimated forces in a relationship, yet it's the one thing that makes love sustainable over the long term. You can have attraction, passion, and even deep emotional connection, but if a woman feels emotionally unsafe, the relationship will start to erode. Safety isn't about avoiding all conflict or pretending that nothing ever goes wrong. It's about knowing that even when life gets messy, the person beside you will treat your heart with care. When a woman feels emotionally secure, she can show you every side of herself without fearing that it will be used against her later. She can admit her fears, share her vulnerabilities, and open up about her dreams without wondering if you'll laugh at her or dismiss her. She can have a bad day, break down, and still feel like you're there to hold her, not judge. This kind of safety doesn't happen by accident, it's built through consistent behavior over time. Emotional security is when she knows you won't disappear emotionally the moment things get hard. It's knowing that if she voices a concern, you won't roll your eyes, shut down, or turn the conversation into a battle. It's when you hear her out instead of trying to win an argument. It's when you make space for her emotions even if they're inconvenient for you. She doesn't leave the man who makes her feel like she matters every single day. That doesn't mean you have to agree with her on everything or bend to every request. It means she trusts that even when you disagree, you will still value her perspective. She feels safe to speak without being mocked. She feels safe to share her heart without fearing it will be stepped on. This safety is also about consistency. A woman can't feel secure if one day you're attentive, warm, and loving, and the next day you're distant, cold, or dismissive for no reason. When your mood swings dictate whether she feels loved, she starts walking on eggshells, trying to say and do the right thing so she doesn't lose your attention. That's not love, it's survival, and survival mode is exhausting. An emotionally secure relationship is where she knows you won't weaponize her vulnerability. If she tells you something in confidence, she trusts it won't be thrown back at her in a moment of anger. She knows that what she says in her weakest moments will be held with respect, not turned into ammunition. That respect makes her want to open up more because she knows it's safe to do so. This kind of safety also extends to the little moments. It's in the way you respond when she reaches for your hand in public. It's in the way you acknowledge her presence when she walks into the room. It's in the way you remember something she mentioned weeks ago because it mattered to her. These moments tell her you're important, you're safe here, you belong. Many men underestimate how quickly emotional safety can be broken. A sarcastic comment when she's being vulnerable, a dismissive shrug when she's expressing hurt, a refusal to communicate when there's tension. Each of these moments sends a message that it's not safe to share herself with you. Over time she shares less and less, until the connection feels hollow. When she feels emotionally secure, she doesn't just stay, she invests more. She becomes more affectionate, more open, more willing to work through challenges. She stops keeping score because she trusts you're in it with her. She stops bracing for disappointment because she believes in your consistency. And that belief makes her want to give you her best self. Emotional safety also means she knows where she stands with you. Uncertainty breeds insecurity, and insecurity eats away at love. If she's constantly guessing whether you're all in or halfway out the door, she can't relax into the relationship. But when you make it clear through your actions, not just your words, that you've chosen her, she stops wondering if she's replaceable. That's when she can fully exhale and be herself. It's not about being perfect. You can have flaws, bad days, even bad weeks. What matters is how you handle those moments. Do you shut her out? Do you take your frustrations out on her? Or do you communicate what's going on and reassure her that she's still safe with you? The answer to those questions determines how secure she feels in the relationship. A woman who feels emotionally safe doesn't live in fear of abandonment. She doesn't spend her nights wondering if you're going to pull away tomorrow. She knows that when life gets hard, you're not going to vanish, emotionally or physically. That stability allows her to pour into the relationship without holding back. When emotional safety is missing, it's like living in a house with shaky walls. No matter how beautiful the decor is, she'll never be able to relax because she's always waiting for the walls to collapse. But when emotional safety is present, even a simple life together feels rich, because she knows she's not just loved, she's protected, valued and respected. This is why she doesn't leave the man who gives her emotional security. It's not just about avoiding fights or keeping the peace. It's about creating a space where she feels strong enough to be soft, where she can be vulnerable without fear, and where she knows that no matter what the world throws at her, she can count on you to be her safe place. Consistency is one of the quiet forces that holds a relationship together. It doesn't get the same attention as passion, romance, or attraction, but without it, those other things fade quickly. At the beginning of a relationship, everything feels exciting. There's a natural energy, a spark that makes both people want to put in the effort. Messages come quickly, plans are made eagerly, and small gestures happen without a second thought. But over time, the real question becomes, will that effort remain when the novelty wears off? Consistency isn't about doing something huge once in a while to prove you care. It's about the small repeated actions that show you're still invested. It's the good morning text, the call to check in, the way you follow through on the things you say. It's showing up not just when you feel like it, but because you've made the decision to be there for her every day. A woman doesn't want a man who only makes her feel special when he's trying to win her over. She wants to feel chosen after the commitment has been made. She wants to know that you still see her, still value her, still want her, even after the excitement of the early days has faded. That's what consistency provides. It removes the doubt and the guesswork. Without consistency, love feels unstable. She starts wondering if today will be one of the good days when you're present and affectionate, or one of the bad days when you're distant for no clear reason. That uncertainty creates anxiety. She starts to question what she did wrong, even if your behavior has nothing to do with her. And slowly she begins to pull back because it's exhausting to never know where she stands. Consistency builds trust. Every time you keep a promise, show up on time, remember something she told you, or do the small things that matter to her, you're reinforcing that trust. You're telling her, I'm here, you can rely on me. And the more she can rely on you, the more she opens up, invests, and builds the relationship with you. But the opposite is also true. Every time you make a promise and break it, every time you disappear emotionally for days, every time your affection feels like it's on a switch that you turn on and off, you chip away at that trust. And once trust starts to erode, love begins to feel fragile, no matter how strong it once was.
Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's not about never having a bad day or never making a mistake. It's about making sure that even on your bad days, she knows you're still in it with her. It's about communicating instead of vanishing. It's about saying, I'm stressed right now, but I care about you. I just need some time to process. Those moments of communication keep her from feeling shut out. The truth is, anyone can be loving in bursts. Anyone can plan a romantic date, send flowers, or write a heartfelt message once in a while. But if the space between those moments is filled with neglect, disconnection, or indifference, the romantic gestures start to feel hollow. They become a way of making up for the lack of daily care, instead of an expression of ongoing love. Consistency is also about emotional steadiness. If your mood swings dictate how you treat her, she can never fully relax. One day you're warm and affectionate, the next day you're cold and distant, and she's left trying to figure out what changed. That unpredictability makes her feel insecure, like she has to earn your good mood or avoid triggering your bad one. Emotional stability doesn't mean you never feel upset or frustrated. It means you handle those emotions without punishing her for them. When you're consistent, she doesn't have to wonder if your feelings are fading. She doesn't have to question whether you still want her. She can focus on building the relationship instead of constantly checking its foundation. That peace of mind allows her to give you her best self because she's not busy protecting herself from potential disappointment. It's worth remembering that the little things often mean more than the big ones. A quick message in the middle of a busy day to say you're thinking of her, showing up for her even when it's inconvenient, remembering her favorite coffee order without asking. These moments tell her that she's still on your mind, that you're still paying attention, and that she's still a priority. The absence of consistency creates a cycle of uncertainty. She might start to pull back emotionally, testing whether you'll notice or care. She might stop sharing her thoughts and feelings because she doesn't know which version of you she'll get in return. Eventually, that distance becomes the new normal, and the relationship loses its depth. But when consistency is present, the opposite happens. She feels safe to open up. She trusts that you'll be there when she needs you. She knows that your love isn't dependent on the mood you're in or how much effort you feel like giving on a particular day. And because she feels secure in that, she invests more of herself into the relationship. Consistency is a choice. It's not something that just happens when you're in love. It's a decision you make every day to keep showing up, keep caring, keep putting in the effort. It's a commitment to treat her as though she's worth the same effort you gave in the beginning, even after years have passed. Anyone can make a woman feel loved once in a while. It's the man who makes her feel loved consistently, who keeps her heart for a lifetime. When she sees that your actions match your words day after day, she stops wondering if you'll stay, and starts imagining all the ways she wants to stay with you. She notices the little things more than you think, more than she will always say out loud. It's in her nature to observe, to feel the energy behind your actions, to pick up on details that you might not even realize you're showing her. The little things are not just random gestures, they're quiet signals that tell her what place she truly holds in your life. When she talks about something that excites her, a new idea, a personal goal, a memory from her childhood, and you listen without checking your phone or changing the subject, she feels valued. She notices if you remember it later, maybe by bringing it up again or asking how it's going. That simple act tells her she's important enough for her words to stay with you. She notices when you make time for her in the middle of a busy day. It doesn't have to be hours. It could be a quick call, a thoughtful message, or just a small check-in to let her know you're thinking of her. Those moments say, even when life is full, you still matter to me. She notices the way you respond when she's upset. Do you get defensive, or do you try to understand? Do you brush it off as overreacting, or do you show patience? Your reaction in those moments tells her whether it's safe to be vulnerable with you. If she feels like she can't bring her emotions to you without judgment, she'll stop bringing them at all, and when that happens, the emotional connection starts to weaken. She notices if you celebrate her victories without making them about you. Whether it's something big like a promotion, or small like finishing a project she's been working on, the way you respond matters. If you show genuine happiness for her, she feels supported. If you downplay it, ignore it, or turn it into competition, she feels unseen. She notices when you show up for the everyday things, holding her hand in public without her asking, offering to help with something before she has to request it, making an effort to spend quality time instead of letting the relationship run on autopilot. Those small, consistent gestures accumulate over time, creating a deep sense of security. She notices when you choose kindness in moments when it would be easy to be dismissed, the way you speak to her in front of others, the way you defend her when someone is being unfair, the way you make her feel respected, not just loved. Respect in the little things builds trust that lasts far beyond any grand romantic gesture. She notices when you see her for who she really is, not just the image she shows the world. The times when you recognize she's tired even if she hasn't said it. The times when you sense she needs space and give it without guilt-tripping her. The times when you understand what she's feeling without her having to explain it twice. Those moments make her feel deeply connected to you because they prove you're paying attention, and she notices when those little things are missing. She notices when you stop asking about her day, when you no longer look at her the same way you used to, when the texts become less thoughtful, the time together feels distracted, and the tone in your voice loses warmth. She notices the absence as much as the presence, and over time those absences start to speak louder than words. The little things are how she measures whether your care is real. Grand gestures can be beautiful, but they can't replace the daily proof that you value her. Flowers on her birthday mean less if you ignore her the rest of the year. A romantic weekend away doesn't erase months of feeling taken for granted. What she's really paying attention to is whether your love shows up in the quiet moments, whether you remember the details that matter to her, whether you listen without needing to fix everything, whether you notice her effort and respond with your own. These aren't small things to her. They're the foundation of how she feels in the relationship. When you take care of the little things, you're telling her she doesn't have to beg for your attention, your respect, or your effort. You're showing her that she's not an afterthought, but a priority. And when she feels that way, she has no reason to look anywhere else for the love and care she already has with you. She stays where she feels cherished. Not just loved in words, but loved in ways that make her feel chosen every single day. Love can be said easily, but to be cherished is to be valued, to be treated as if her presence is a gift that you never take for granted. It's the feeling that you're not just with her because it's comfortable or familiar, but because you still see her as someone worth fighting for. When she's cherished, she feels that you notice her effort, her sacrifices, and the unique energy she brings into your life. You don't assume she'll always be there no matter how she's treated. You act as if winning her heart is an ongoing choice, not a past achievement. That choice shows in how you speak to her, how you prioritize her, and how you protect her dignity in every setting. Cherishing her means you treat her like she matters even when life gets busy. You don't put her at the bottom of your list when stress hits or when your own interests take over. Instead, you make sure she still feels seen and valued, even in small moments, a reassuring touch, an encouraging message, or simply taking the time to be present with her without distraction. She can love someone deeply, but if she feels taken for granted, that love will start to feel heavy. Cherishing her lifts that weight because it tells her she's still worth your effort. It's in the way you remember the little details about her, in the way you show appreciation without waiting for a special occasion, in the way you defend her when she's not there to defend herself. Being cherished means she doesn't have to wonder if you'd fight to keep her if things got hard. She knows you would, because you fight for her every day in small, consistent ways. You keep the connection alive not just through romance, but through respect, attention, and care. You don't let her become invisible in your life. She won't stay in a place where she feels like an option. She stays where she feels like the choice. She stays where she can see that you're just as grateful to have her now as you were when you first met. That gratitude shows in the way you make time for her, the way you listen, the way you speak about her to others with pride. To cherish her is to create an environment where she feels safe to be herself, to dream, to be vulnerable without fear of judgment. It's giving her reasons to believe she's not just wanted for what she does for you, but for who she is at her core. When you make her feel that, she invests more of herself in the relationship, because she knows she's in a space where her heart is protected. She stays not because it's the easy thing, but because it's the fulfilling thing, because being with you feels like being valued, not tolerated, because she knows that no matter what the world throws at her, she has a place where she's appreciated, understood, and loved in ways that go beyond words. When she's cherished like that, leaving never even crosses her mind. At the heart of it all, love may be the spark, but it's not what keeps the fire alive. What makes someone stay is the respect that never wavers, the emotional safety that allows vulnerability, the consistency that builds trust, the attention to little things that make her feel truly seen, and the daily choice to cherish her as if you could lose her at any moment. When these are present, love doesn't just survive, it grows deeper, stronger, and more unshakable with time. And in that kind of love, walking away never feels like an option.